Our postcard today has a white church, a white theatre pavilion and a white windmill. No, we're not in White City, we're in Lytham, Lancashire. Yep, our postcard today is from Lytham in Lancashire. So why are we showing St Anne's on Sea? Because that is St Anne's Square, what you're looking at now. Mainly because Lytham and St Anne's go together like Morecambe and Lancaster. Because of the Royal Lytham and St Anne's Golf Course, one of the top golf courses in these British islands. Many a putt has scored a big win on that green. There's the famous schools. As you go from St Anne's down to Lytham, you'll pass King Edward and Queen Mary schools. Many a good car boot sale has been held on those greens. Now perhaps you might think the postcard has popped off and stopped at Istanbul, but it hasn't. This is the White Church at Lytham in Lancashire. I've never seen any church like this in the whole of the British Isles. Have you? Now you can be mother. Now do I call you Mr. Mayor? Mother?
Yes, mother. I usually get Mrs. Mayor.
Mrs. Mayor? Yes. Madam Mayor?
Madam
But why do
Mayor.
they call you Mr. Mayor when you're a lady?
Because it is the correct
Form
of terms of office.
Where does that stem back
well,
from?
it is the office and not the person.
Lytham St Anne's. I've lived here for a number of years now, and you know, outsiders always think that Lytham St Anne's has got a comma after the Lytham and it's one place. Now, you'd like to tell us differently, because I know it's different,
yes,
don't
it is. It is. It's two different towns. There's Lytham and St Anne's, and in between you get Fairhaven and Anstall. So that's adding to the complication there. But it is two separate towns.
And let's confuse it even more by saying now, of course, that you are mayor not of Lytham St Anne's, but of the Fylde.
Of the Fylde borough, yes. Yes, which is...
So
we're
just
very
confuse you more
complicated.
there, yeah.
We're a lovely area, but we are complicated.
And who's that gentleman in the seat over there?
That's my husband, who is...
But he's not Mr. Mayor?
He's not Mr. Mayor, no. He's...
Mrs. Mayor?
No, he's not. No. He's a consort. Now that sounds very odd, doesn't it? He's a consort.
Sounds like Prince Albert to me.
It does, yes. So he, as he says, he walks a few paces behind with his hands behind his back.
And he sat there, or as Hilda would say, I was sitting there, because I used to love Hilda Baker. So I worked with her, you know, I worked with her on Nearest and Dearest, Hilda Baker, and I loved her, because you know I used to be on the stage, don't you?
Yes, I do, definitely. And that reminds me of something that I have from behind my back. There's something that I think you might be interested to see.
That was completely unrehearsed. Surprise. Go on, Scylla. Oh, goodness me, this is true. I was in the wonderful Wizard of Oz. I was at the Lowther Pavilion in Lytham with this.
That's
and
right.
I played the Ashton Gardens.
Yes.
When there was a little theatre there.
There sure was.
Hansel and Gretel, I was in that.
Did you?
Well, I wasn't Gretel, I was Hansel. But I still had short
that's
trousers.
interesting. Good.
In this one, I was actually the Wizard of Oz. Well, fancy you bringing that out. Yeah. Well, let's go and see precisely where this, my triumph, occurred. Now, that's the Lowther Pavilion, the premier theatrical venue of Lytham. And as Mr. Mayor, you know, the lady who is Mr. Mayor of the Fylde Borough, which this forms part of, showed me. She came to see me when I was in the Wizard of Oz there. It's actually been done up since then. It's much cleaner and brighter and whiter. Everything in Lytham is very white. White church and a very white Lowther Pavilion. Behind this cross is Lytham Cricket Club, where Lancashire play many of their summer county cricket championships. Now, according to legend, this was the resting place of St Cuthbert, as his body was taken around this area on its way to Durham. And of course, the parish church of Lytham is St Cuthbert, dedicated to this saint. the clipper pulling down leafy Lytham. Now, why has Lytham got a windmill, Bill?
It was flat land, it was near to the water where corn could come in. Lytham itself was an oak growing area. Damp climate that suited the cotton trade later on. This mill was built in 1805. There are also around 26 more mills in the same area.
Did they? I know there's one at Marton near Blackpool.
Well,
isn't
there are two at Marton.
Yeah.
And the remains at Wheaton and up to 1919, there were 10 mills working in the Lytham area.
So, is it still working?
No.
No, not now.
No, it finished 1919, New Year's Day. It caught fire.
Everything catches fire in Lytham and St Anne's.
Well, this one way making sure that they don't. You can always get a new one. But anyway, no, it burnt the middle out and everything. But what happened? The sails must have been around that side because when it caught fire, the brakes must have slipped. They were a wooden brake on top of a metal shaft, so therefore you get friction, up she goes, and all the gases inside, methane and everything, all the dust. It's asking for trouble. The Factories Act wouldn't pass them today, probably, for that reason. And one of the sails broke off, and it went the other side of the graveyard at St John's Church. And 1.5 tons of timber flying through the air.
Goodness me, did it really?
And it's a good job there's nobody at the bus stop. but anyway, that was, and ever after that, there's no middle, everything burnt out inside, so the squire gave it to the locals. He gave it to Lytham St Anne's, and it cost 26,000 to refurbish it and put a new cap on and that sort of thing, make it with dummy sails. It was turned into a cafe and electric station, and we've now got a tourist centre. It's open from Easter right the way through till September.
Excellent.